How to build business credit with bad personal credit. I have made this video before and I got so many views, but now in today, 2025, 2026, some things have changed and I want to update you, but you still can get lots of business credit. I'm talking about $50,000, $100,000 at a minimum in your business's name just by doing these things, even if you have bad credit. I'm going to share with you some updates. I'm going to break it down for you and I'm going to share all of it because now is the best time to get business funding. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Okay, so let's get right into this. This video is sponsored by Creative Credit Solutions, but more on them a little bit later. If you have bad personal credit, you probably know that it is difficult to just walk into a bank and sign your name and they give you $50,000. Well, with business credit, it does work much differently. You literally can borrow in your business's name and you can build business credit and get funded in your business's name. Let me break this down for you. So I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, it is actually easier to get business funding and get lots of funding if you have good personal credit. If you have bad personal credit, know that you can actually fix it pretty easily. You can actually call my friends at Creative Credit Solutions. They will give you a free consultation and see what they can do for you. You don't know, maybe you can get things deleted off your credit report. They can help you get your personal credit scores up. They are absolute experts and they may be able to help you, and it's a free consultation. So now that we've gotten out of the way, and I'm telling you that yes, it is easier if you have good personal credit to walk into a bank and get a funding or a business credit card, a business funding, a business loan. But that doesn't mean you are over it. Let's talk about your personal credit for just a second so I can explain how you can do this business credit thing really easily. Your credit score or your FICO score is based off about 5 major things. The major thing being your payment history. That makes up about 35% of your personal credit score. The next thing is utilization. Utilization is how much you spend, especially on revolving accounts. So if, for example, you have a credit limit of $1,000 and you've charged $900, you've used 90% utilization. So that makes up about 30% of your credit score. Remember that number because I'm going to share that with you a little bit later when we're talking about how to get business credit. Remember that utilization is about 30% of your personal credit score. Then about 15% of your credit score is made up of your credit mix. Like, do you have mortgages, credit cards, revolving credit, auto loans, student loans, like different types of credit. So your mix of credit, of course, to have the best credit scores, they want you to have different types of credit, installment loans, revolving loans, different things like that. Then, of course, you have new credit. They want you to be getting new credit ever so often. In order to have a great credit score, you have to be getting approved for things every few years. They want you to use your credit in order to have the best credit score. So basically, even if you have a great credit score and you never use your credit and you never get new credit, your credit score will just fall just on that alone. And then last but not least is inquiries. Hard inquiries are when someone checks your credit to see if you get approved. This makes up about 10% of your credit score, but inquiries can be a really big thing when it comes to business credit. So remember utilization and remember your inquiries. We'll talk about business credit right now. Business credit works much differently. You can actually build a business credit score just by using Dun & Bradstreet, which is the major credit reporting agency for business credit. There's also Equifax Business and Experian Business, but just know that Dun & Bradstreet is the #1 credit reporting agency for businesses. And a good business credit score is 0 through 100. That's how their scores go. It's called the Paydex score. And the best score is 80 or above. So unlike your personal credit where you want like a 720 or a 740 FICO score or higher, well, with a business credit score, you're going to want an 80 score or higher. However, when I say that if you have good personal credit, you can just walk into a bank and get business credit, let me break that down for you really quick. So then we could talk about kind of corporate credit and building business credit on that credit report so you can understand the difference. So because business credit is its own credit agencies and it's its own thing and it is very separate from your personal credit, it is truly credit that is given to a business for business uses. So a lot of times with business credit, you will get bigger, higher limits. You will get more credit cards. You can get credit in just the business's name because it is truly its own entity. To have a business, you simply just need to have the business registered with the Secretary of State, like an LLC or S Corp or C Corp. You need to have your EIN, which is Employer Identification Number. That's absolutely free at irs.gov. You need a business address. Obviously, you can use your home address, and you may have used your home address when you got the business registered with the Secretary of State. But if you really want to get a lot of great business credit and business funding, I strongly suggest you lease a small place, or you do a virtual office like Regus or Opus, where you have a physical address to a business, but it is not attached to a home. Now, when I made my video a few years ago, it was really easy to get a lot of virtual addresses, but a lot of banks and lenders have caught on, but not all of them. You definitely can use services like iPostal to get a business address. You just have to make sure it is a physical address, and it's not maybe like a store like Staples. A lot of times, if it's a physical retail store in a shopping mall, those fare better, but each one is different. But again, if you could just lease a small space for maybe just a few $100s per month through places like Regus, places like Opus, or other offices where they have a physical address, and you can even have time at that address, like they have conference rooms for you. Those seem to be the best virtual addresses that are working in today's environment. But let me be clear, there is so much more business funding out there than there's ever been. You guys know what's going on. We may have, administration that doesn't want to fund maybe food stamps, but guess what? There's tons of funding given to banks to lend to businesses. So now more than ever, if you have bad credit, it is time to fix your bad credit so that you can get a business credit. And if you don't want to mess with your personal credit, you should actually just call my friends at creativecreditsolutions.net. Tell them that Noelle Randall sent you. There's a link in the description box. They may be able to help you get a great personal credit score so that you can walk into a bank with just a business and walk out with $50,000. In fact, I have a whole video. I'll put the link to it after this video. I'm going to put it right here. Banks that you can just walk in, and if you have good personal credit and you have a business that they can actually look up in the Secretary of State, and you have the EIN and just those things that I said, you usually can walk out of the bank with $50,000, and you can walk into each of those banks and do the same thing. So you can easily get $250,000 in business funding just by having good personal credit. Now, if you have bad personal credit, you can still build business credit through Dun & Bradstreet. Let me explain. In order to build great business credit, as I said, you want to have a Paydex score of 80 or higher. They have scores that go from 0 to 100. Now, when it comes to business credit, instead of it being on those factors that I said personal credit scores are based off of, it is more based off on just payment history. That is really the thing that they care about the most. So when you are building business credit, you can actually get vendor credit, and that will report on your business credit report. For example, you can get credit with vendors like Grainger. That is one. Another one is Uline. Another one is Quill. And I'll even put a link below to Noelle's free gift, and I'll actually give you a list of vendors where you can easily just buy something from their website in your business's name, and they will report. If they give you what's called a net 30 or a net 60, that will literally report on your business credit report. That's an easy way to get past having good personal credit. Because it is such a smaller amount, like it's only going to be like $50 or $100, they're basically giving you like a 30-day loan when they give you that net 30 invoice, meaning they will ship those things to you immediately, and they will invoice you, and you have 30 days to pay that invoice. Now, the key to get good business credit quickly is to actually pay the invoice before it's due. So don't wait till the 30th day, pay it a little bit early, and they will actually report that to the Business Credit Bureau. However, we skipped a step. You actually have to verify your business with Dun & Bradstreet. So remember, I said you're going to need those 5 things for your business: the registration with the Secretary of State, the EIN. You need to have it at an address that is not going to your home. Then you should have a business phone number and a business website. Those are like the basic things. And again, it can be a simple website, and you also maybe want to have a business email, but this is not required. But that is one thing that you might want to do as you get larger in your business. Make sure you have a great business email, like, support@abcproperties.com or info@supportproperties, whatever the name of your business is. You guys get what I'm saying. Like, you want your business email address to have your domain in it. Let me keep going. So when you are claiming your business with Dun & Bradstreet, you simply just go into their system and find your business. You literally can search on their website for your business name and claim your business. However, they're going to mail you something with a code so that you can confirm your identity. That is why I said it's very important to make sure that it's not a home address, because you're going to verify that as the address. And then that's going to be like your business address with that credit reporting agency. And anytime you apply for credit, they're going to be looking for that address. So it's really important to get the virtual address, then correct that address with the Secretary of State, then go to Dun & Bradstreet. That's an update that I'm giving to you that's now that I didn't give to you in the previous video. So if you watch both of these videos, I'm giving you some new updated tips so that you can get approved for funding in your business's name. Once you have claimed the business, then you can, like I said, go to those vendors that I named, do a net 30 or a net 60 invoice, whatever they give you, and then make sure you pay that invoice 30 days within the first 30 days. If it's due in 30 days, try to pay it in 20 days so that it reports as that you pay early. Once you have those vendor credit, then you can get cash credit cards. You'll actually start to get offers in the mail. So now, like I said, because there is so much business funding available, as soon as you actually register your business, it is going to be sold to brokers and they're going to start sending you gasoline credit cards. You should take those. A lot of those gasoline credit cards like Chevron cards or Wawa or Murphy's Oil, those gas stations, those business credit cards for gasoline are amazing. You actually do probably drive quite a bit in your business, and it actually helps you track those expenses. So it's easy to see what your deductions and your write-offs are for mileage and for gasoline and different things like that. So those are business credit cards that you want to actually accept. Once you actually start building business credit, it is pretty easy. You're going to start getting those in the mail. Let me tell you this last thing. Once you have those gasoline credit cards and store credit cards in your business's name, then you can move on to the cash credit cards, because you should have more than 5 trade lines reporting on your Dun & Bradstreet credit report. So it is going to be actually important for you to purchase your actual Dun & Bradstreet credit report so that you can look and see what is up there, and you can actually see to make sure that the trade lines are reporting before you move to that next level. Now, remember what I said earlier. It is actually easier to just get business funding if you have good personal credit. And I also told you that it's actually not that difficult for you to fix your personal credit. Just use the link in the description box, get that free consultation, and see what they can do for you. In many cases, you may be able to fix your bad personal credit and have good personal credit and easily get the business funding where you're walking into a bank, opening up a business checking account, and they are literally offering you a business credit card or a business line of credit right there on the spot. Now, one of the important things that I want to give you just as a pro tip that is working really well now is walking into the bank with your logo on your clothes, or even walking in, pulling up in your work vehicle. A lot of times the bankers do obviously have cameras outside. They're looking outside. So I started noticing that when I will show up dressed in my company clothes, with a picture like this, here's an example, and I would pull up in the company pickup truck, this is what the pickup truck looks like, then they would actually treat me as a business owner. Because there are so many people like Noel Randall on YouTube sharing how you can get business credit, they have obviously seen a lot of these videos and they doubt that people really have a business. But that's not what I am suggesting. I think you truly can have a business. And more importantly, you can grow your business so much bigger if you could get business funding. Obviously, then you can run ads, you can buy inventory, you can market your business, you can get more customers. Literally, if you have more funding, you can use that to get more customers. And that is truly what you want to do with business funding. And especially with low cost ads now, you really can get your customer base way up and get more customers and make more money in your business simply by having business funding. So I wholeheartedly tell you, I think you should fix your bad personal credit. See if you can talk to my friends at Creative Credit Solutions, see what they can do for you, and see if you can't get your bad personal credit into good personal credit so you can easily walk into these banks, open up a business checking account, and walk out with $50,000 in your business's name. It is really that easy when you have good personal credit. Now, like I said, this video broke down the steps for you, though. If you have bad personal credit, you still can build business credit and go around that system. Please know that these big companies like Amazon and Tesla, they have millions and billions of dollars in business funding, and they are not using their social security number to do it. It's really important for you to have those things for your business so that you can borrow in your business's name. You can even lease properties in your business's name, buy cars, lease cars, do all of this in your business's name. simply by having your business outlined professionally. If you need help with that, again, my friends at Creative Credit Solutions can help you go from bad credit to good personal credit, and they maybe even help you work with another company that they have where you can actually get business funding just by working with some of those top experts as well. Just know that this is one of the best times to get business funding, and you need to know that you can do it whether you have bad personal credit or whether you have good personal credit. Obviously, having good personal credit is going to take you a lot further, because then you can borrow in both your personal name and your business's name, and you can personally guarantee things without it affecting your personal credit, because all they're going to do is look at it, your credit in many cases, and then they will lend to you in your business's name. Just know that there is tons of funding out here, and you need to start taking steps to get this business funding, because that is the real opportunity that we have today in this economy. If you need any questions or you have any help, you could call my friends at Creative Credit Solutions. If you need coaching on this type of stuff, make an appointment with me and my team at callnoel.com. Again, I just want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noel Randall. To your success. Hey, all right, make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you click that notification bell. And also, I want to hear your comments, because again, business credit and personal credit, that is where the funding is in businesses. And so I want you guys to get approved. Talk to me in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about getting business funding.